I want to talk about the new CT SYS. I got to get this right, everybody. Oh, it's written right here, right, Chris? Yep. CT SYS 1. And what this is the Sustainer Dust Extractor, right? That's now cordless. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little training today on it. Boy, have I learned a lot with this week. I was trained earlier in the year on this, but man, I'm just finding out all kinds of cool stuff about this. So I want to kind of impart that to you today to make sure that when you get yours, that you are up to speed in a heartbeat. Okay, so what do we talk about first? It's cordless. Any other questions? Okay, I'm done for the day. Okay, so you're gonna wanna know what batteries it takes. It takes 18-volt batteries. It's a 36-volt system. That means you need 2 batteries. Which batteries work in here? Well, here's the plug-in, and it works with 2 4.0s, or 2, if you have some of these older batteries, the 3.1. Yes, they're Bluetooth. Okay, so over the last 3 years, these 4.0s have been included with a lot of our cordless tools. You have them already, okay? So that's a good thing. And it doesn't work with the 5s, with the 5.2s, the 6.2s, or whatever, because this compartment here is too big for those. It has to work with 2 batteries. It doesn't work on a single battery, all right? And over the course of this demo today in Festool Live, hopefully I'll cover all those questions that you're probably already asking Brent. Okay, now this is kind of neat. It comes, I'm going to tell you later on, it's Bluetooth enabled. I'll show you how to set that up, but it comes with a hose that's 27 millimeter diameter. Okay, it's 10 foot long, 3 meter. It's actually 9.8 feet. Okay, but it comes with the remote, which is really cool because we've released tools before that were Bluetooth enabled, CT MIDI, CT Mini I, MIDI I, that were Bluetooth enabled, but it didn't come with a remote. This comes with a remote, which is wicked cool. All right, man, maybe I should just get going with this. Well, let's do it. Okay, so it's kind of easy. Watch. Pay attention, everybody. Here's the controls. I'll go over this next. See that right there? That means it's on. Man, that was technical, huh? So then you have this button. It says manual. That means if I'm running it, okay, and I need to do some cleanup with it, okay, I can just start doing some cleanup with it, all right? Now on all our other CTs, or the lion's share of them, we have a plug that you plug the tool in, okay, with an electrical cord. This doesn't have it. So this is designed to work with a lot of our cordless tools, and I'll show you that in a little while, whether it's a sander, a drill with the attachment, or, and I'll show you this later, the TSC 55KEB, okay, as long as you have a Bluetooth battery. Okay, now let's turn it back on so you can see this. This is also variable speed or variable suction. You got it in high, medium, and low. So that's really good when you're sanding and you want to reduce one of the reasons you get swirl marks, that it's pulling too much down to the material. It also comes, if you still need more suction reduction. Hey, that was pretty cool. That's my new one, suction reduction.
That's very good.
Not bad?
Very good.
Hey, I did that through deduction.
Oh.
Whoa! Man, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so watch. So if I want more suction reduction, I'm just going to turn it on because I have it on Bluetooth. I could take that, and at the tool, I can get my sander to float even better or break surface tension even better. Okay, so I thought I'd just show you that. But you'll see I'm going to bring it back up to speed. That's what the plus is for. Okay? Now, I'm going to do this really quick, because I want to show you how to cycle on the Bluetooth with this. All right? See how I've taken the batteries out? I have this commissioned to the Bluetooth right now. Okay? So I need to decommission my remote unit. So if I take it and hold both, see both these tabs, I'm going to do it again, manual in this one. If I hold them like that, it blinks blue, and I think it takes about 10 seconds, and it's going to turn a different color. I think it's pink. I think the owner's manual says magenta. Okay, see that right there? Okay, I think it's more of a fuchsia than a magenta, but we'll just say pink. Okay. Chip knows the Pantone number of that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I've always taught you guys this on Festool Line. I don't like to put it all the way up like that. I want it a little more flexible so I can get it like on a domino. So I'm going to chuck it up right about there, my remote. Okay, I'm going to put that on like that. Now, let's put the batteries back in like this. Woo! Why is it? Off camera, I can be really smooth in putting things together, but when I get on camera, I fumble and bumble. I never understood that. Okay, so let's turn it back on. Okay, we get a beep. Okay, I just want to check it. Yep, it's working good. I'm also going to check this because I decommissioned it. It's not going to work. Okay, so there's 2 phases to enable Bluetooth. I've gone through this before, but I want to reiterate it for you. If I go like this, you see how it's blinking blue? That's how you commission a battery. So you see how it's blinking blue? I'm going to commission it to this saw right now. Watch. You see how that just came on? So now, if I take these batteries off, that'll decommission it. It's going to stop here, okay, because it cleans out the hose as it goes. But if I do this, watch, I'm going to do this, and this is where I've seen people make a mistake. They're trying to commission this. It won't work. What you need to do is you need to hold this button for like 3 seconds, and then all of a sudden it's going to start beeping or blinking really quick. Did you see that? Now wait. See how that works? Boy, that pause got me thinking, am I doing this right? Okay, so what happens is this will stay cycled to this Bluetooth-enabled unit. Hopefully that answers a few questions that you've had over time. Okay, next. What am I talking about? Oh, did you hear how quiet it was? It's 63 decibels. It's a very quiet system. This gets you into those situations where, A, you want to be quiet inside maybe an office space, but you don't want to have to lug all these dust extractors and try to find an electric outlet or whatever. You can go fully portable, whether you're sanding or cutting. All right, so it's just one of those no-brainers, I think. When the original CT SYS was released, I was like, man, this should be cordless, because I'd like to see a cordless dust extractor for Festool. Well, we got it. So I'm going to start breaking it apart. We can start talking about a few things. I mentioned it comes with a hose. You know what? I'm going to slip over here. I did mention the 2 batteries, didn't I? Okay, good. Variable suction. Yep. Oh, as this top now, see how I can use it, and I could use it in a vertical position with that hose and do cleanup if I want, or keep it on my stack of sustainers. But it comes with it also an upholstery tool. It comes with a crevice tool. Okay, so the values never end. Okay, but it has this strap, and I'm going to be using this. How the heck do I tangle these up? I could re-straighten this or do it, and 10 minutes later it's going to be twisted. And then Chris or Gage or Chip or Minnie will never twist it. I always twist straps. Okay, so the strap works on top of the storage sustainer on top. And if I take this, and you see how I push this tab like this? It comes right out. Okay, so if that gets in your way or you're not going to use it like that, there you go. But the nice thing is this, I don't want to say but it's a cord. I mean, a cord. Oh my God, it no longer has a cord. It's a hose storage. It also, that's where your 2 accessory tools, nozzles live. All right, so you guys want to look inside? Let's do it. So I'm going to open it up. And you're going to see it's a bag, okay? It's roughly a gallon, a little over a gallon capacity. Yes, it's a consumable. You fill the bag, you toss it, all right? So, in saying that, I'm going to contradict myself in a few minutes. To remove the bag, you take it like this, You open it up like this, and you close it off here with a blast gate because you don't want to breathe the dust as you're throwing it away in the dumpster. Okay, to put it back in, you just put it in like this. Okay, you take it like this and you let it click in. Okay, now, that could fill up pretty quick. So what I always suggest, and yes, it's designed for this, if you look at the bottom of the containment area, you could put a spare in there, and that's what this symbol is right here. You have a place to store a spared bag. So I always do that. It comes with a HEPA filter, and to clean out a HEPA filter, you take it over to the trash can and you tap it out. I will refrain from teaching anybody to blow air through this, because if you blow air through this, you stand a chance of puncturing it with an air, and it's no longer a HEPA. It's a no micron filter, because all that will leach out through the system. Okay, this is 0.3 micron. This is very efficient. And HEPA, I don't know if everybody knows this, it's high efficiency particulate air. It was designed years and years ago to clean out nuclear reactors. Whoop, 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 whoop. Too much information in my brain. So that's how you clean the HEPA. It comes with it. You put it back in the containment area. Don't forget about that storage area, okay? And you just lock it in, and you're back rocking and rolling. Okay, so over the years, I've seen so many people trying to take this, take it over to the trash can, a dumpster, and start emptying it. Guess what you're doing? You're breathing it, so because you're trying to get it through that little hole. There's an accessory. It doesn't come with it. But boy, wait till you see what I do with this today. This is called the long life bag. Those bags are the same as the original CT SYS. This is the original long life bag. They're forward and backwards compatible. Okay, that's your blast gate. So when you empty it, you're not going to breathe it, but you empty it like this. Watch. It's Velcro. It's a bigger hole. You take it over to the dumpster and you shake it out. Okay, now I am going to use the assistance of the whiz kid Gage, and I'm going to have them watch. I'm going to have him check. This is my magic trick. Look, Gage, I want you to verify. Is there anything in the bag?
Nothing in the bag.
Okay. Let's check with Chip. Chip?
Nothing.
Okay, hey, men. Those are dudes. You check.
Wow.
It's completely 100% empty, and I'm not throwing anything in there now. Okay, so let's take this. Let's get it back to where I want it, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to reseal it. Okay, just like that. It's sealed. All right, I'm going to put this in, because I want to show you a demo that I was thinking of with this, and I think you've seen me do the demo before with the track saw, okay? I'm gonna close her up. So the long life bag is reusable. In transportation, sometimes it's recommended that this is a little blast gate or cork to seal it off. That's built right into the CT SYS. All right, now, I'm gonna take it to a step further as I'm setting this up. I'm going to take my, I almost forgot, Minnie. You see this right here? Mm-hmm. Okay, where does that fit? Right in the Sustainer Systems van, okay, that we showed you 2 weeks ago. So this fits with Generation 3. It fits in all the racking system on the Bot Smart Van. Okay, good. So I'm going to turn this up right, and I'm going to take that strap, and you're going to see this tab here, and this tab here, and I'm just going to take this. Chris and I were practicing with this yesterday. I couldn't get it. Whew. And then I learned. See how that goes in like that? And then I'm going to take this one. I always think it's this tab I depress. It's actually this one to remove it. So I'm just going to take that and slide it in. Wow, look at that. I'm going to take my pouch off just for a second so it's not in the way. Okay, and you see how I have that now? And look, I can carry that just like this. And I'm completely mobile out on the job site. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to hook it up to my track saw. Okay, get it going. You know how that locks on. Chris, do I have everything hooked up? I got my dust. Look,
You got
look.
your batteries in there?
Thank you. That's called deer in a headlight. I got my batteries.
Yep, you got your batteries.
I got my batteries in there? Okay. Yes, I did have batteries in there. Let's double check Bluetooth. That's nice, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna verify my cut to make sure I'm taking the right cut. Look how portable this is, okay? I think I got everything set, right, Chris?
Yep.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask, does anybody have a smartphone in here? With a stopwatch?
Yes.
I've got
Oh, good.
Okay.
Chips on.
Okay, so when I start cutting, or when I cycle on that saw, you start it, and when I'm done, at the end, stop it. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. I'm just gonna verify. I'm gonna make sure my splinter guard's down. That's gonna block some of the dust. Chris, do I have everything set up?
Yep.
Here we go. And I'm just gonna let the saw work its way through the board. Time.
11.9 seconds.
Okay. So let's round up. 15 seconds. Let's just say it's 15 seconds, and I was pushing it too quick. I wasn't. I was kind of nursing it. Okay. How many times? Let's think this out. How many times, because this is going to answer a lot of questions, everybody. How many times does 15 go into 1 minute? Hey, you want to know something? This guy's good at metric, this new guy, Chip. Okay, good. Okay, so 4 times a minute, I can make a rip cut on a board. Boy, this has a pretty good longevity on the batteries, I would imagine. You could do a lot of rips, right? So I always mention this to folks when they see run times on batteries. I think you're going to get, depending on the level, I think you'll get like 20 to 30 minute run time. I think, that's vaguely in my head, before you need to recharge. Our recharge on, if you have Jetstream, is like 30 minutes on these batteries. So think how quick this will work, but think about how many rips you get in that time. That's a lot of plywood ripping down, a lot of hardwoods. Okay, so it has great run times is what I'm getting at. Okay, so does anybody know the CFM rating on our dust extractors? Roundabouts. Minnie, do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, on the larger ones, it's 137 CFM. On the Mini and the MIDI, I believe it's 130 CFM. I don't know if that bumped up recently. But on this, okay, wait a minute, Chris, let's pan down here. Do you see a lot of sawdust? No. Hopefully you guys are getting that on camera. There's not a lot of dust. So this, the statistic on this, and I don't call it out right away, is 85 CFM. And you guys out there may say, oh, it's not enough CFM. Aha! There's a method to my madness. Let's look inside, okay? Because I think the capture's phenomenal. And I did this yesterday just to make sure, hey, check out this right angle. Look how that fits right on that TSC. All right, good. So let's look inside. We have the long life bag. So now we can quantify it, can't we? All right, let's open her up. Okay, and I want you to see this. Because we made 1 3/4 8 or 18 millimeter rip, 8 foot, in 11.92 seconds. Okay? Think about out on a job site, and you got a lot of stuff to do. That dust adds up. And I want to do this so you can see how much dust this captures. And I'm trying to, look at this. Look at that. So if you think it's not capturing a lot with 85 CFM, I beg to differ. Look at that. So, is that amazing? Minnie, check that out. Did you see that?
Cool. Oh, cool. Wow.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we better be good at capturing dust. That's what we're known for. The heart of the system is the dust extraction system, the clean tech system. And I'm going to tell you right now, this CT SYS 36 volt, 218 volt battery system, look at the dust extraction you're going to get with this. It's absolutely amazing, and we have made it ultra, ultra portable for you. So as I've been walking around these rooms this morning, meeting some wonderful people, and we're pulling out some MFTs, MFT is a multifunction table. Okay, and I've been watching you. I've been walking back and forth because I'm going to pull out some. I've been drinking my Timmy Hortons from Canada. Okay, Chris is sold on the double doubles. All right, good. I heard there was a Wayne Gretzky too, huh? What was that? 9 creams and 9 sugars? That's unbelievable, because he was 99, right? Gretzky, the great one? Okay, good. In the U.S., we do know a little bit about hockey as well. Okay, good. All right, so as we talk about the MFT, and I was watching everybody working over here this morning, I noticed you have some new benches, or bench tops, right? You have some vices on them. And the one thing about the multifunction table, it is a workbench, and a lot of people don't understand that. So I love talking about this workbench alone. A lot of the times you'll see it in our catalogs that we have a crosscut station set up here for the track saw. And I saw some of you using track saws this morning. All right, so maybe someday I'll come back and we'll do some more training. Okay, so we have a variety of clamps. I didn't bring all of them today, but I want to talk about a few things that I grew up with. Connor and I were discussing this morning. I had Brad, Lucky Charm, bring the new clamping set. And I was looking over at these tables and there's no holes drilled in them. And I have always called these dog holes. I've been using dogs my whole life, okay? Where I can set this up, okay? And what a dog does is it impedes the forward momentum of a board, okay? So I like to use hand planes, and the only thing I have to do on the workbench is put that dog in there, okay? Drill some holes on the benches, and I can do this. I can hand plane because I'm going in this direction. Okay, now when you have a sander or something and you're sanding something, okay, there's sometimes you may be holding it and sanding, and that's going to go all over the place. Now comes into play these. These are clamps. We have the ratcheting, and we also have the screw clamps. And these dog holes, this little L goes underneath like this, and you can lock it down, and you can sand and do whatever, you can cut. Okay, and you're not just, because I saw some of you this morning with trigger clamps, you were clamping like this on the edge, right? Okay, this opens you up to a lot of possibilities in clamping. And over time, you'll get more clamps here, Festool clamps, and you'll see how they work, okay? But we have dogs. We just came out with this one. I don't know if you all know what a holdfast is, but we call this a lever clamp, and it goes in like this into one of the dog holes and locks in. It's that quick. Okay, so we have, and we keep coming out with Festool, we keep coming out with a variety of clamping options. What a lot of people don't know that I absolutely love about the table are these aluminum extrusions, because the clamp can go in here. So say you got to clamp something vertically, like this 2x4, okay? You can clamp it like this. But what happens? It wants to fall down, doesn't it? So what I do is I tell people, just takes, we call this a dead man. You could take it like this, bring it in like this, and now you can work on whatever you want. So you can clamp it in vertical and on the front, okay? Say you're routing some hinges for a door. You can bring your door right in here, okay? If this is even right here on the multifunction table, right? And you can take the clamp, come in this way, clamp the door, and route your hinges. You can put a couple of sustainers, system containers on the bottom to elevate the door so it's at the right height for you. But it's great to route hinges. You probably do some big doors and that, setting doors and millwork, right? Yep. Okay. The nice thing about the MFT, the multifunction table, is the legs fold up. And I think it's 65 pounds, 67 pounds, and you can just carry it right to the job site and set up. So you're taking all that accuracy from the joinery or cabinetry or millwork shop, and you're able to bring it out to the job site. Okay, so it just works that way. We also have this, which is a low profile. You're working with 1/2 inch material, 1/4 inch material. These are 20 millimeter. They fit in here like this and like this. And it's a lower profile and a wider stop. So it just works. Now, what we don't have here is what we call a clamping element. Well, you guys will be getting some of those soon. Is it goes into the opposing hole. It's a little piece that you push up against here, and it's a cam that locks it in. So now it's a low profile over everything, and then you have a perfect sanding apparatus to sand, and it won't move when you're using a sander or a router. Any questions on the table? Oh, excellent. Wow, I think I'm done here. No, I'm going to keep going. Okay. And you guys, after live, will, oh, did I say you guys all getting t-shirts and hats? I did, didn't I? So don't leave. That's how you keep a captured audience, even though it's lunchtime. Okay, good. All right, so I didn't stage anything walking in here this morning at 8 o'clock. Thank you, Connor, for opening it up. And as I walked here, I said, that's where we're going to be. And it's funny because look what you have on the board. All right, look, right here. Because we're going to be doing dados today with the router. All right? And if we look up here, oh, this is kind of fun. Look, I'll get my pointer. Look, leg notching, okay? And this is great when I saw this. Because leg, the first way you guys did it, you did it with a handsaw and chisel. I've done that. Okay? The second way to do this notching, a circular saw and a chisel. We've all done that. And a circular saw could be a handheld saw, it could be a track saw, it could also be a slide compound miter saw like the K-Pex. Okay? And the third way is a table saw with a dado setup. Have you all done a setup with a dado? Those take what? 30 seconds to set up? Right? You put the inside chip outside, and all the chippers, you put the inside blade, all the chippers, you do it, you run it, and you got to put shim stock in there. It can be a laborious task, right? Okay, I'm going to show you, look, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to show you 4 of 4. I've always called this a paradigm shift, okay? Where here in North America, yes, I could do dados, I could make a jig with a regular round base router. I did them all the time. But when somebody asked me, why buy or why use a Festool router? And I was blown away when we were on the phone, Connor, to find out, I think you bought 16 OF 1400s. I was blown away this morning when I opened up a 1400, and what was nice, it had the #1 accessories you should always have with a 1400. It's called a guide stop. And it's this piece right here, okay? And I'm gonna take this apart so you can see it. By the way, these rods come with the 1400. They're in the bottom of the sustainer, okay? But this is a guide stop. So if you've ever set up a router or made a jig for a router to do a tenon or a dado or a stop dado or a mortise, how long do you spend making a jig just to take the router and go a couple times? And where does the jig go? Up on the wall. All right, because someday you may need that, right? But it sits there. I call that a time trophy, okay? If you look at the MFT with the hardware package, combine that with the OF 1400, you have a joinery machine. And hopefully today you can see that as I set this up. And it won't take long. All right, here we go. So when you set up, and you only have to set this up once, the guide stop, okay? It locks in here, and you're gonna notice these two channels here. It goes on this rib right here. Okay, but when you get this, the setup, and I'm gonna, hopefully we'll get this for the camera, you'll see these 2 tabs and screws in here. Okay, what I did this morning is I knocked out the lateral tolerance, so there's no play in there, but this assures that it's gonna ride right on that rib parallel. Okay, there's 2 little tabs in here. So this one, I didn't tune up, and if I put it here, you can hear it. See the movement? So what I did is I knocked out I call this growing up slop in something, right? I knocked out the lateral tolerance, the play. So now, this rides on the rail like this. Okay. Next, I put an 18mm bit in here. Okay. Hey, I got a question. You guys use here in class imperial or metric?
Imperial.
Imperial, wicked. Okay, so I put a 3/4 bit in here. Okay, I like to use metric, okay, because the division's easier for me. All right. The router, the way I set up right here, it's a knob, okay, and the rods go in like this. The router rides partially on the rail, and I tighten this. It's a central clamping knob, just like that. But if we watch, it wants to tilt off. So, this is called a support bracket. Do you know what it does? It supports. There you go, good. Wow, these guys are wicked smart. Okay, good. So I'm gonna put this on here like this. Okay, Chris, maybe you can come in and see this. Now, I kind of cheated a little. I was good like that in school, okay? It has a scale here. It's available in imperial. So half of 3/4 what? 3/8. I had to look, that's good. I had to look that one up. Okay, but what's half of 18?
9.
Connor is now known as Mr. Metric. Okay, good. Okay, so I can split the difference. Now, here is what Festool has on their routers. And if there's any point I have to get across to you today, is setup is so much easier when they set up a router with Festool, because on every single one of our routers, there's a scribed quadrant center line. That's the exact center of your router bit, the center of the bit. It's because we precision grind the rods, and we are fanatical about our quality of our tools. All our tools have a 3-year warranty as well. That was for you, corporate. Okay, good. So as I come in here, see this right here? That's the center line of my router. So if you've ever set up a parallel edge guide with a router, that makes it easy, as long as you what? You have a scribe center line. So I did a quick layout here this morning. Okay, I made an 18mm layout, and I used to take router bits on other systems that I designed when I made jigs, okay, and I would put the edge of the flute on the edge there and run it, because it was close enough. But with Festool, you can get absolutely perfect, because what I did is I found right here that 9mm center line, okay, I scribed it out. I'm gonna take it like this. Sorry my back's to you folks. Okay, I'm going to bring it in here, and I'm going to scribe a center line. And whenever I was looking at plans, building cabinetry, I would always like, how am I going to scribe? Because everything's off a center line on plans. Okay. And I look at it and I go, oh, how am I going to get that? That's why I purchased for my cabinet shop a Festool router, because I found out it had a center line on all 4 sides. Okay, so when I come in here and set it up, I'm just going to set it up pretty quick like this. Give me a second. Just like this. And I'm bringing it over to the center line. Okay? Now, I'm just going to take my board. And here's another thing about the multifunction table. Now, I have stops this way. So I have repeatability if I have to do multiples. I'm going to bring it in just like this. I'm going to take a lever clamp, lock it right down here like this, so I have no movement, because routers go round and round, and there we go. Now, there's something that Festool's world-renowned for. It's our dust extraction. I see you folks using our dust extractors down at the other end today. We better be good at it. We've been doing it forever. We're world-renowned for our dust extractors. So if you've used a router before, you know how messy they are. We're going to capture the lion's share of it, okay? And I just wanted to say that right now to you, or tell you that, because I get caught up in everything. I also have to set depth on a router, right? Okay, so I got center line. But man, you know what? I want to stop it precisely here and start it. So it's a mortise now. If I went from the opening to a stop, it's a blind dado. Okay, so but what I'm going to do, and this is why center line's important, we found out half of 18 is 9. So Chris, can you come in here and you guys can see this after? I have a 0. That's the center of the bit. I'm going to take it. Oops, sorry, Chris.
All good.
Okay, and I'm going to set it exactly at 9, and I don't have to think about it. because I have a stop that slides right in here, just like that. And to start it, I'll bring it over and set it at 9 as well. Just like this. So now I don't have to think about it. The only thing I have to do is set depth. Have you guys been taught how to set depth on a router yet? Good. Because every time somebody taught me growing up how to set depth, I was like, I'd scratch. That's why I have no more hair. I was always scratching my head. Okay? That's how I got rid of my mullet. Okay, good. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to close that, and I'm going to do this as simple as I know how to set depth. I zero out the router. That 18 millimeter bit is now flush with that. I have to go what? Another 5 millimeters in depth. So I know that this Allen key is 5 millimeters. I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to set my turret and my rod at the very bottom. Now that's at 0. And I'm going to take something I know is 5 millimeters. That's like a gauge block, isn't it? That's all you have to do. I don't read scales anymore. It can be that simple. So if you ever have to do inlay or do a notch at a certain depth, just get a piece of that, whatever you're notching, and put it right in between the stop. It's easy. Okay. Let me see where I'm at. Just double check everything. A little bit of safety. When you go to put power to a router or any power tool, always remember to cycle it off. Make sure it's off, it's not locked on. Okay, I'm gonna come over here and put it on auto because this will automatically trigger when I turn the router on. I'm gonna put dust extraction here. Okay, I'm gonna put this little guide right here. And I'm gonna take what we call a plug-it cord. Okay, I'll put it in here. This one will work on every single Festool tool. It's a full, always remember when you plug in a Festool, the plug-it, it's a full quarter turn. Okay, now, oh boy, I always do this. I always verify everything is tight on here and we're ready to go. You're gonna notice I haven't cycled on yet. My hand goes on here and never comes off until I'm finished and the power is off. So I'm gonna take it. There's that 5 millimeters of depth. See how my hand's still there? And there you go. That's how you do a dado mortise. You can actually do a tenon, a series of tenons with this. The MFT table in conjunction with a guide stop of 1400, it becomes a joinery system. Out on the job site with extreme accuracy. Okay? Any questions?